the root causes, let's go get on to the problem statement. Now, you saw already that I mentioned that your requirements, your sources of requirements, your controls, all of these are very high. And when I say very high, I'm simply talking of the volume, the number of requirements that are there from each one of these, right? All of these lead to these problems, and these problems are the ones that get solved by a checklist. So, what are these problems? One, there are too many things to track, and I'm literally talking in terms of numbers of things to track, right? And it happens frequently in the infosec field that even if you have, let's say, obtained just one certification, or you intend to obtain one certification, let's say ISO 27001, or maybe you are a fintech who's holding card information or processing them, and in that case, the PCI DSS requirements will start applying to you. If you look at these requirements, they usually number in hundreds. If, let's say, you are a cloud-based SaaS and you undergo client audits frequently, you will be receiving something called as self-assessment questionnaires. And frequently, I have seen that the minimum number that I would attribute to the self-assessment questionnaires are 80 of them, 80. I have also seen cloud security checklists, which are like 300 requirements, right? So there are just far too many things to track. Related to the number of things that you have got to track, I mentioned earlier that there are so many stakeholders, and some of these stakeholders are those entities, those people, those functions who are supposed to provide something to the InfoSec function. And when I say provide, these are those people to whom you approach, stating your requirements, and these requirements and these controls need to be implemented by those functions or those people. They effectively become your responsibles and accountables. There are far too many of them. As I said earlier, that security is an organization-wide function, and it happens frequently that when you go through the standards or go through the certification checklists, you will figure out that there are certain things that need to be implemented by each of your departments. So again, not only are you tracking a lot of things, you also are tracking them against various stakeholders who are the people who will be responsible or accountable for actually implementing or closing these requirements. Other than that, then there are too many types of infosec activities. And when I say this, it is closely related to the fact that infosec as a function is mainly driven by your risk management practices and evaluation of what are your attack surface areas. And the attack surface areas are many. No matter what kind of organization you have, you may, when you conduct your risk assessment, you end up figuring out that there are far too many ways in which your security can be breached, your security can be compromised. Now, when you intend to implement these controls to plug in these holes, plug in these gaps, you end up realizing that you are taking up several different type of activities which effectively cover all of your surface areas. To name a few, let's say you have an application, a web application. Now you have to ensure that you're conducting source code review, you're conducting vulnerability assessment, you're conducting penetration testing. Now all of these, what I would call as technical security activities. But if you only did those and did nothing else, you would still be far too vulnerable. The reason being, one of the leading causes of security breaches is, in fact, social engineering, phishing attacks, or business email compromise attacks, which are directed towards people. No matter how much security you have implemented or security activities you have taken up for improving your technical security, if you do not take up activities related to, let's say, to training your people, ultimately a security breach is likely to happen. Now, what does this mean is that you have to, on one hand, take up technical security activities. On the other hand, you have to take up training activities. On the third hand, you have to ensure that people have actually signed up confidentiality agreements. Now, again, that is a HR legal action. So you can see that just these three of them, I have ended up stating three different types of activities that infosec can take up, and these are not the end of it. There are far too many of them to take up. So again, related to the previous two ones, which is the volume of things that you're tracking, the responsible functions and people that you're tracking with, you also have to track against and across various types of activities that you're taking up. And finally, the most common problem that there is always this concern that we cannot have too much of budget allocated to cybersecurity. It is natural because fundamentally, still security is seen as a cost center, and the main objective of any business for cost centers should be to minimize cost while at the same time improving efficiency and effectiveness. So naturally, there are too few people in the infosec team who are supposed to take care of so many lists of things, like across these so many tracks, so many different activities, interacting with so many responsible and accountable people. It becomes difficult for those few people to take care of so many things unless and until they have some kind of an organized approach, right? So these are the problems that are a direct outcome of the root causes that we spoke.